So just look at my little Easter egger. Doesn't she look miserable and scruffy? She looks like she has a chicken version of the mange. But really what she has is the normal molting process for a chicken. And I thought I'd take you through that today to let you know, if you have backyard chickens, what to expect and how you can make their life just a little bit easier when they go through the difficult molt process. Now, my chickens don't necessarily all go in the same time period, but usually within 2 weeks of each other. And it's when the days get shorter and, we got less daylight. So probably mainly middle of fall they start, late October. And then they start this process where they look sometimes humorous and sometimes even naked. This is when they're losing their old feathers and they're going to be gaining new feathers. And these new feathers will give them the needed insulation my chickens will need for the Michigan wintertime. Now I should add that young chickens less than a year do not go through this molt. They will go through the molt next year. Now the advantage of that is that when my chickens go through the molt, they stop egg production completely. And part of that is the molting process, but also the shorter days. I do not keep a light in my coop. But if you have new chickens less than 12 months old at molting time, they will still be producing eggs very often all through the shortened daylight days. So what happens during this time? Why aren't they producing eggs? Well, part of the problem is, and some of your chickens may still produce eggs during molt. Depends on the chicken, but mine do not. It's a very taxing time for them. And the shorter daylight, of course, adds to the less egg production. But there are things we can do to make their life easier. Now, my normal chicken food is 16% protein. And these feathers that they're getting are composed of 85% protein. So it's a good idea to add some protein to their diet. And you could do this by adding 20-22% broiler feed at this time. Or you can be supplementing their feed. And that's what I do. I give them some extra protein treats, so to speak. And here I am, I'm giving them some canned cat food. And this is beef, not chicken. Because, I just don't feel right about feeding chicken. But you can also feed them scrambled eggs, tuna, dried cat food, small amounts of dried fish food, and sunflower seeds and other high protein snacks. Now, number 2, they have to have plenty of water. Very, very important. So give them plenty of fresh water. And you may want to add 1 tablespoon of cider vinegar to 1 gallon of water, and this will give them some extra nutrients and minerals while they're going through this difficult time. Now, number 3, we all like to cuddle our hens, but don't do it, because when those pin feathers are coming through, it makes the chicken very sensitive. It hurts. And it is torture to pick them up and hold them. So, for while they're going through their molt, let them be in peace. Now, what happens if those little pin feathers come in, get pecked on by another hen? In that case, you have bleeding. And if the other hens keep pecking that chicken, the best thing is to remove the chicken until their new feathers come in, and then put them back with the flock. Now, one more thing. You might see it almost looks like dandruff on your chicken towards the end of this process. And don't worry, it doesn't mean your chicken has mite or that it has dandruff and needs a head and shoulder treatment. What it means is that the sheath, when the pin feather is coming through, there's a sheath on it, and that sheath disintegrates as the pin feather grows. And so that, quote, dandruff you're seeing is really the sheath particles. It is nothing to worry about. Now, this molt process can last anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks. Like I said, generally my chickens started about middle of October, and they're done sometime, beginning to middle of January. And during that time period, I don't have any egg production because they're working so hard on getting those new gorgeous feathers, which I think makes my flock absolutely beautiful. Now I should mention, sometimes a chicken will go into molt when it's not the normal annual molt. And that is the sign generally of something being wrong. They haven't had enough fresh water, they're malnutritioned, they're under physical stress, be it from being something changed in their coop lighting wise, or they're being bothered by other animals. Something is going on when they start a molt in that case. So you want to look at that carefully. But that's it for the molt process. And I hope you have a little bit of better understanding of molt. And if you have any neat things you do when your chickens are molting, please comment below. I'd love to hear it. This is Potpourri saying, please subscribe and share the knowledge. Thank you.